semi-finals, best of 3, second match between Ardent Alliance versus Legacy Reborn.
Yeah, very curious what is going to happen now, what they're going to pick, especially that Fortress together with Celeste and Vox worked out so good. I did not expect that, but somehow NA is always a bit ahead of EU in terms of new comms and new subs. Also the Glaive was way more famous in NA and then got later on, I mean we saw that basically in the final match between Gamers 2 and Red, that whoever was playing Glaive was at least showing a very strong performance, and now we do see the Fortress here in the picture for the second time, this time on the side of Ardent Alliance, and not quite sure if this time Wrecked, Pond the Original and Old School have the right recipe to deal with that.
Okay, just waiting here for the first ban from Ardent Alliance coming out. Very excited to see if we see Catherine Adagio bans as well. This is super strange here in the semi-finals going on. And there's the ban from Flash X here for Ardent Alliance. This is Vox.
So Vox getting banned here by Ardent Alliance, so clearly they are not going to play the same comp.
Yeah, so waiting for the next ban, and just being Team B here, Legacy Reborn having now the opportunity to ban, and then Ardent Alliance making the first pick. So what do we have? Let us see. Nothing so far called out.
Normally we are used to that NA is somehow banning and drafting super fast, and this time it takes Legacy maybe a second to think about if they want to give them whatever again. They are banning Taka, even they played it the game before, so upon the Original is not going to play Taka.
Interesting ban.
Celeste pick is coming in from Ardent Alliance, so at least Celeste is getting picked up again.
And now Legacy Reborn having the opportunity to pick 2 heroes. Who that will be? Maybe, you know, Glaive Jewel is open. Maybe Catherine pick also, depending what you prefer Catherine or Arden, but we will see about that. Hopefully in just a few seconds, since Legacy Reborn is having quite a few talks on the pick.
Yeah, we can grant them some time. We are actually running in a perfect time at the moment, and do have, by the way, the bats running already again, so be sure to either choose Legacy Reborn or Ardent Alliance for this second match and tell us your guess, basically.
Yeah.
There they
Glaive
are.
and Adagio.
Nice. So Glaive is getting picked this time, and Adagio on Legacy since it's not banned this time, so maybe Wrecked can play that one and be a bit longer alive and don't die as fast in those team fights as he did in the first matchup. Flash X following it up with their final picks. It's Catherine, also not banned as it was in the first, and now it is Jewel. Full roster for Team Ardent Alliance. Wrecked just picking Scarf, so Old School most likely going to play the Scarf and Pon on Glaive. Adagio is going most likely to Wrecked, and on the other side we will see about whom is going to jump on what. Flash X obviously going to be the tank, just not sure if Joseph or Mikshi is playing Jewel.
Alright, everything is locked. We are starting the match, and throw it over to the guys called Valdez and Tasty Bacon just in a moment.
Shatter the Vain, a podcast about vainglory.
Welcome to the Halcyon Fold for game number 2 of Legacy Reborn versus Ardent Alliance. Ardent Alliance getting off to a quick 1-0 lead with a pretty dominant performance in that last one. We'll see what's going to happen here in game number 2.
Yeah, Ardent Alliance looked very strong. It was really the early game that they picked up their lead in and just carried it through. You know, a couple of shades of a comeback there from Legacy Reborn, but in the end, Ardent Alliance was able to secure the victory. The team comes pretty different this time, as they did go for the Jewel and the Catherine from Ardent Alliance here, but keeping Mixi on the Celeste, looking to have a similar performance against Old School on the Scarf.
Yeah, I actually really like this composition. We're actually going to have a fast team fight here. Flash X getting hit by that scout trap, but we are seeing Jewel get the double stun with that rocket leap. Unfortunately, not much of a follow-up as Mixi was not able to join in that fight towards the end, but getting a little bit of extra damage, I suppose, and Celeste is going to have to come back to this lane and get back to farming.
Yeah, both, everyone really just kind of backing off, going right back to farming, so not too much can happen thanks to that level 1 fight. So everyone remaining safe for the moment. Taking a look, there's really no big differences in terms of the first minute and a half on CS, which is to be fairly expected. Although, you know, the way that teams have been playing recently, so much aggression coming out in the first couple, 2 to 3 minutes, as they actually might be looking for yet another fight here down in the jungle.
Yeah, they're looking for it here. Jewel just cleaning up that last small creep. And here comes the Catherine going forward, but a defensive afterburn used. They are going to get the stun, though, onto Wrecked. And now forced into this fight is Legacy Reborn, but just going to back off after a couple Spitfires do come out and zoning a bit with the goop as well.
Yeah, once again, a pretty drastic difference from game 1, as we're coming up on 2.5 minutes without a single kill. I believe we had 3 or 4 kills at this point in the game 1, but Old School going to be taking a ton of damage, and Mixi dropping the Heliogenesis directly on his head will pick up the first blood.
Yeah, Mixi is just a beast Celeste player. We saw it in the first game, just fantastic Heliogenesis accuracy and just lining up the Solar Storms as well. We begin to see it in game number 2. She's really on point today, and wouldn't be surprised if she's another key player of this game. And speaking a bit about their composition as well, we saw Vaughn use this one just in the last semifinal match that we did have. It has 3 stuns, and you can link them up. You go in with your Catherine, you stun, Jewel follows up, and you get that core collapse. Maybe we'll see it here in this fight.
Yeah, it's very devastating if you can connect them. Pon the original going to be taken extremely low, somehow getting out, but it's only temporary as he does end up going down. But they do make it a 1-for-1, also picking up the kill onto Mixi. Old School and Flash X, both on the low end of the health spectrum, will be getting away. But nice job there answering the kill by Legacy Reborn. Oh!
Wrecked also going to be found in the backside of the jungle, just trying to recall. And that's going to be another kill picked up by Ardent Alliance.
Yep, 3-1 lead here early on. As we're very much aware of, it's not the end of the world to be down by 1k gold here early on. Legacy Reborn really proved that in our previous game. They were able to actually even up the gold lead at one point. And so, no need to panic for any Legacy Reborn fans. They definitely do still have the ability to come back at this, but the lead is going to be slowly growing, especially as they pick up this gold mine.
Yeah, Celeste just really nice lane control there, pushing in all the minions to the turret, forcing Scarf to just farm under turret, and then they rotate as a team, pick up that gold mine very early on at about 4 minutes and 25 seconds, and just looking to extend that lead even further is our Alliance.
Legacy Reborn, though, looking to prevent that as they are coming in for a 3-man invade. Not sure if they're going to be able to really find anything here, though, because they are so close to the turrets. And, of course, the Jewel does have that rocket leap, which they use right there. I love Joseph escaping any more danger. And Rex needs to be careful. I mean, Pon the Original just recalled back to base. Rex is going to have to activate those boots to get out of there. Meanwhile, up in the lane, it is actually going to be a kill as they take down Old School once again. Now 2-1-1 for Mixi on this Celeste.
Yeah, it's just insane game sense, and they're gonna continue chasing Rect here, but he will get away, it looks like. But they were like, okay, if you want to rotate into our backside jungle with 3 of your members, we're gonna have Celeste, who can push a lane insanely fast, go into the lane, get Catherine to support as she pushes that in once again. Scarf was left all alone, and they link up the stun from Catherine and the core collapse, and it's just an easy kill, and a bunch of extra farm going to Celeste as well. So I'm just really loving the play so far out of Ardent Alliance, especially from Mixi.
Yeah, currently sitting at 52 CS compared to the 42 from Old School, so a lead of 10 there. You also have to look in the jungle, 39 on Jewel to 33 on Glaive, so it's much closer, but still a slight advantage in favor of Ardent Alliance. As Legacy Reborn attempted to look at that gold mine, but immediately backing off once Flash X and I Love Joseph showed up. But now they're going to be looking for a gank onto Old School. Celeste isn't there, but that's the stun. There's the ultimate, and now Jewel is going to land another stun with the rocket leap, and that's not the full 3-man stun chain coming out, but 2 of them did connect to secure the kill.
Yeah, Old School just a bit out of position, and we're going to have another kill going down here. Just so many stuns that are able to come out of this team composition, as I was saying before, and they link them up so well. But Old School getting caught out there, I wouldn't even really blame him. He was a very slight amount too far forward. And hold that thought, Pon, the original, getting way too far forward as well. Oh, not even that much far forward, just too low, and staying near that turret thinking that it could protect him, but just not enough.
Yeah, with all 3 of the opposing team are at pretty much full health, especially that first turret is not going to protect you. And they pick up another kill, 7-1. Ardent Alliance is looking to take a 2-0 series victory and move themselves into the final to take on Vaughn. But they do still have a lot of work left to do. Old School is just going to get knocked back by that rocket leap, but there's Flash X for the stun. The group is going to go down, but it's not enough of a slow to prevent the kill going over. Pon the Original on this Glaive taking a lot of damage as well. Another Thunderstrike connects. Here comes Flash X with the Merciless Pursuit. Connects on the stun. Is there going to be a rocket leap? It doesn't look like it. But he's going to be running right into Mixi, who doesn't connect with the core collapse, but they are going to take down this turret. Eventually, they do get it. And I Love Joseph continuing to chase Pon. They've done a full lap around the map at this point and almost finishing this one up, but so close. However, these minions, this may have been a mistake, although Glaive is trying to heal off of them, but it's going to give I Love Joseph more time to catch up to him. Is he going to go for that afterburn over the wall? He does not get it, and this should be a kill. Does knock back Joseph. There's another kill going on in the lane, but I'm too busy following I Love Joseph finally getting the kill onto Glaive, going ridiculous. Ardent Alliance is a dominant force here in this game.
Yeah, man, I was watching that chase going on as well. I looked back quickly once Celeste took out Scarf, and it looked like it was just a one-on-one. I would assume that Old School, once again, just got caught in another core collapse and just got killed 1v1. We did see the Solar Storm used as well, so probably just Celeste hiding in the bush, lands the core collapse into Heliogenesis and Solar Storm for that quick kill. Old School going to get caught out again by these two stuns.
Having a very rough game here, 0-6 on this Scarf. Right there when Mixi did go back, had over 2,000 gold to spend, finished off the Broken Myth, already had the Eve of Harvest as well. So not even 10 minutes in and already 2 full items. Jewel is sitting on a Sorrow Blade. and Catherine already has a Fountain of Renewal and is building towards very likely a Shiver Steel. But we'll have to see, as now they're going to try and catch Pawn. There's 1 stun, there's 2 stuns, there's 3 for the kill. That is just absolutely brutal. There's nothing you can do. And unfortunately for Legacy Reborn, it looks like they are going to very likely end up in the 3rd place game, but it's still a very important game, as it will be for an extra $300 in the circuit points. But here comes a huge Solar Storm, almost one-shotting Old School. The big red button not quite picking up the kill either. Pawn the Original trying to get in, does get I Love Joseph very low, but everyone else on his team is low as well, so they can't follow this up, and instead they are going to turn this around. Mixi heading 1, looking for Wrecked, is going to get it along with the reflex block, but it's too early as the turret does hit just after that shield wears off for the kill.
Wow, what a hectic fight there. You could really see that Ardent Alliance is really trying to push that advantage, just trying to get as many kills as possible, get in the face of Legacy Reborn before they have any hopes of coming back in this game, as they tried to in the last one. And yeah, I mean, we're seeing pretty much flawless play, you know, outside of that kind of wonky fight that we just had, out of Ardent Alliance. Like, they're doing nothing wrong here, it seems. It's like after that first game that they won, they gained so much confidence and such a big advantage with this 1 game up that maybe they've gotten rid of their nerves and they're ready to win this one.
Here comes another fight. The Dragon's Breath is going to go off, but it's not going to do much of anything at all. Pawn the Original on the backside, trying to take down Mixi, will get the kill, but is also going to fall. Old School did manage to take down I Love Joseph as well, and now it's Flash X versus Old School. Support versus a laner. It's a little bit of a one-sided fight, but Flash X is going to get out of there, as well as Old School going aggressively into the jungle, trying to take some of this farm away before recalling. So nice job there at Legacy Reborn. We saw it last game right around this time as well, starting to look for a potential comeback, but they are still down by 5,000 gold.
Yeah, that's generally what happens when you focus down the very tanky support player with all 3 of your stuns with this kind of composition. Especially not jumping onto the Scarf and allowing him to sit back and do tons of damage. But even after that not going all too well for Ardent Alliance, they keep it even at 2-2, and definitely continue on with that bit of a lead. It does point towards maybe what Legacy Reborn has to do in some of these future team fights. Just continue to make space for Scarf, allow him to do that damage. But here we do see once again he's going to be jumped on. A nice reflex block, and the Core Collapse is going to miss, but goes for the Dragon's Breath and is going to be burst down by that Solar Storm. Now Pawn the Original very low, looking to get down here very quickly. There he goes, and only the Adagio, that Wrecked, is going to survive.
Yeah, this time it's at the very least not Wrecked. Can say he's not really the reason that they are losing these games, but it's gonna be very, very difficult for them to come back at this point. Another turret picked up, an immense gold payout paid to Ardent Alliance, and they now have an 8,000 gold lead as they pick up that minion mine. Gonna be looking to really just keep this pressure on and close out this game pretty early, actually. Kraken is going to be spawning in a little over a minute. If they can just maybe push up, they might even be able to take that turret if they get another fight in their favor, and then go grab the Kraken to push into the base with, and that will be their ticket to the finals. But of course, it's not entirely over yet for Legacy Reborn, but it is looking extremely grim.
Yeah, and just was looking at their positioning there. They were actually going back in a bush. I was getting worried because the 3 of them were all split up. At this point in time, you have to be a very secure unit. You need to travel as 3. You need to look for picks. You need to try to force your enemy to make mistakes, and you can't really be making them yourselves. So I'm really curious to see what exactly Legacy Reborn is going to try to do here to come back in this one. They're being very passive for now. Not even going up to the minion the minions in the lane. And in fact, they're just going to go back and maybe even just allow the Kraken to go down and try to burst it down with Scarf, get that extra gold, and try to sustain the damage without taking too many of their turrets going down.
Yeah, taking another look at the items, it is the Tyrant's Monocle finished for the Jewel. So going to be getting some big crits from that. But as soon as Kraken spawns, Ardent Alliance is immediately on that objective. Looking back over on the side of Legacy Reborn, Old School has an Eve of Harvest and a Frostburn. So a lot of people, especially on 1.8, everyone talks about how strong the Broken Myth is, and he didn't opt to get it as the second item, which is the typical build. So a little bit questionable there. And then a Sorrow Blade is the first item for Glaive, who usually wants to get some crit damage in, helping out his the passive on his B ability. But it's kind of questionable builds, really, in my opinion, for Legacy Reborn.
Yeah.
But we'll see, as they are going to be pushing in with this Kraken. And of course, the minions, when they do eventually join, will have that double minion mine buff. But they're going in onto this turret, and now they're looking for the fight.
There we go. Stun going down onto Scarf. Not able to survive here. Adagio gets burst down, and huge crits coming down onto Glaive as well. That should be the game coming out here, and that's going to be game number 2, taken by Ardent Alliance with a extremely dominant performance here against Legacy Reborn.
Yeah, 10 seconds still left. Both turrets down. The Solar Storm completely whiffed, and it didn't even matter because the two of them were already dead by the time it was thrown out. And in less than 17 minutes, Ardent Alliance decimates Legacy Reborn, pushing them into the third place game. Ardent Alliance will move on to the finals, where they will take on Vaughn for that spot in the VIPL.
Yeah, very well deserved. Those guys played a fantastic game. Maybe a bit of nerves also coming out of Legacy Reborn, not really playing the same game that we saw from them in the quarterfinals. You were mentioning the builds, maybe just at that point in time they were desperately trying to scramble to get some items, maybe get a cheaper Frostburn, stay in the back, and kite a bit. I'm not really sure, but overall, nothing that they did in either of those games was really working out for them. Even the Scarf ultimates at times, it was funny, sometimes he was using them in the middle of team fights where he could easily be stunned by any of the 3 stuns that the enemy team did have. It was kind of interesting, but either way, that will be Ardent Alliance moving on to the finals. And let's throw it over to our friends in Germany and see what they had to say about that game.